So do you feel proud of somebody like him?
Bobi Wine is confused because he's not ideological, and he's being manipulated by so many groups, so many, especially the foreigners.
Who are these foreigners? That's the question.
Oh, which foreigners?
All sorts of, we monitor them.
You monitor them. Who are they?
Who are not part of the foreign manipulation.
Who are these foreigners?
Who are these foreigners? Once again, please.
Tell me the country. I don't know who these foreigners are.
There are so many.
There are so many. Who are they?
There are so many. Because you see the foreigners.
There are so many because you see foreigners. Who are they? You said you monitor them.
Especially the Europeans.
Okay.
He
finally mentioned them. The Europeans. Okay. Who are they? Malta? Luxembourg? Cyprus? Netherlands? The UK? Sweden? Where? What do you mean when you say the Europeans?
And they get quite a lot of encouragement from the foreigners, from the homosexuals, from I don't know what.
What have the homosexuals got to do with it?
What have the homosexuals got to do with it? He's trying to find ways of how he can blame nebulous groups. He won't mention not even one homosexual, but he knows when he says the Europeans or homosexuals.
Oh, they are very happy. They are very happy.
Who are these people? Tell us.
Happy with Bobi Wine. They actually, I think they even send them support.
What?
I think is a statement of doubt, a statement of uncertainty. You do not know.
You're watching Mordecai Marissa Live Political Commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
I cannot appreciate you enough for using your valuable time to always go on social media, break down things for people.
And yes, indeed, presenting to you from these United States of the America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're watching me. My name is Mordecai Marissa, and you're watching Mordecai Marissa Live. Exactly. Absolutely. I hope you're having a great time wherever you are watching me. Are you? Let's do this, right? You can pretty tell I enjoy what I'm doing here, and I'm so glad that you enjoy as well. This time around, we're gonna have this commentary in English. I decided to mix in my Luganda sometimes and then English throughout. So please forgive me if you are a fan who enjoys only Luganda commentary. I'm gonna use English in this one, and for the reasons that are obvious. I had someone ask me, I went through my comment section, and somebody's like, Mordecai, I watched your commentary on your last YouTube channel, the one we lost, the one that was hacked. And then he said, there's an interview you made a commentary about, and that was Museveni being interviewed by Channel 4 News. Do you mind bringing it back? Because Museveni was held. He was cornered. He made a comment, said, please make sure it is in English. So I'm going to respond in kind. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the interview this gentleman is talking about. I will show you here. This is the interview. So, Museveni engages in this game of gaslighting people, deflecting, and resorting into unwanted lectures. Every time he's interviewed, he wants to assume this position that he's the wisest man alive. And actually, I'll show you. I think I'll get back to this. No, I'll show you where he says, oh, I'm a very intelligent person. There's a few things I do not know. This is the president saying that. And like I usually say, if you really need to convince us that you know a lot of things, probably you do not. Smart people don't talk about how smart they are. Wealth or rich people don't talk about how wealthy and rich they are. I've never read where Isaac Newton said, then I found out that I was smart. Or or Albert Einstein. Never. I don't know where Bill Gates says, I am the rich man, by the way, or Elon Musk. They don't make noises about how wealthy and rich they are. But here is Museveni telling us, by the way, I'm a very smart man. But hey, let me give you, let me set the stage for you. This is what's going to happen. This is Museveni trying to gaslight this lady. Listen.
I don't need to be in the government, by the way.
I do not need to be in government, by the way. Oh, okay.
Because see, another confusion you have. Why do you think I'm in the government?
Okay.
Because you want to be.
He's trying to play these games. Oh, why do you think I'm in government? And she's like, because you want to be.
What?
Because you want to be in government. You want to be in power. You want to be in office.
You want to be in power. You want to be in office. Then he goes on to be like, for what?
For what?
For what you want to do.
For what you want to do. And this can be selfish personal interests.
For what I want to do.
He thought he was going to play this mind game on her. And she's like, you're in office for what you want to do. And you know what you want to do. This is not about building the country or changing or transforming the country. No. All right, let's go back here. Let's listen to how Museveni talks about how smart he is.
So, what you should realize is that, like, in the case of Uganda, the person you are talking to is a very experienced person. There are not many things in the world that I don't know.
Oh, there are not many things in the world that I do not know. Here is a man who has experience in what we call planet Earth. He knows stuff in all fields. There are not as many things. Talk about science and technology. Talk about anything. Manufacturing. Anything. There are not as many things in this world that I do not know.
So, when I'm handling a situation, you should know that I know what I'm doing.
When I'm handling a situation, leave me alone. I know what I am doing. Come on.
So you are accountable.
See now? So are you accountable? He was being interviewed and questioned about the violence of November 18th in Luka and Kampala.
I'm not accountable.
Oh, I am not accountable. I have all this knowledge.
But I know what I'm doing. Because I cannot be accountable for what I didn't. I'm not the one who started the violence. But I defeated the violence. Our system.
We can flip this, script and ask him, so are you accountable for the people that died in Luwero? Because you're the one who started violence in Luwero. Shortly after losing the election in 1980, the man whose victory was stolen was none other than Paul Kawanga Semwogerere. You performed abysmally, but you were the first one to launch a war against the government of Obote. And over 500,000 people died in that war. Are you accountable? No. Because his argument is like, okay, I'm not accountable for the violence we saw in Luka and Kampala shortly after the arrest of Bobi Wine. So can we go back to the world? Are you accountable for the lives of people that we lost? Over 500,000 people. And this man wants you convinced that all these people that died in the Luwero War were killed by Apollo Milton Obote and Tito Okello Lutwa. Man, come on.
I was not even in Kampala at that time. I was also campaigning. But the system automatically defeated because Uganda is not a failed state.
Uganda is not a failed state. Let's go on and try to look at the characteristics of a failed state. I typed in here, probably I lost it. Let's go here. Okay, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'll type this with you here. Okay, this is my Google. Characteristics of a failed state. Yep. Of a failed state. Okay. A failed state is a country where a government has lost control, becoming unable to provide basic services, maintain law and order, protect citizens. Let's go here if we can get a summarized thing here. Like this. Characteristics of a failed state. Weak governance institutions. Museveni personalized all institutions in Uganda. Low levels of service delivery. Poor health, education, and sanitation systems. Hello. minimum legitimacy, large accountability gap, lack of democratic mechanisms for checks and balances, policy tensions between trade, aid, humanitarian development, security, drug policies, to mention but a few. So, sounds like Uganda to me. What do you think? If we're not failed, we are on that journey to complete and utter failure.
It is not a dictatorial state. It's not.
Uganda is not a dictatorial state. Can we go in and check what are the characteristics of a dictatorial state?
Not an Egypt. It's not a Sudan. It's not a Libya. It is Uganda.
Look at how she looks at him, because it's like, man, what are you even talking about?
Uganda, where the people are in charge.
Uganda, where people are in charge, people who are being assaulted, while they've done nothing, like committed no crime.
Yes, there are some gaps, like the youth group, which is part of our success, but which needs to be handled in a better way, but not in the way they want, the way of violence
But what I sense here now is something more than that. It's this sort of pulsating cultural need. And sometimes when I look at, for example, your opponent, Bobi Wine, you know, do you ever look at him and think, I was like that. I was that young man pushing forward, trying to bring change.
What change? Because
and he stammers immediately. I'm being cornered. What can I say? What?
Situation now is very healthy.
The situation is very healthy, where Bobi Wine's driver is killed, in situations where Bobi Wine actually had to have that bullet was targeting him, in situations where we have many of his supporters abducted, tortured, and killed, where all his bodyguards are held in prison, where Dr. Chiza Besigye is abducted from Kenya and is still being kept in prison on trumped-up charges, where folks who engage in corruption are instead rewarded and promoted in government. What is healthy about the Museveni NRA structure system?
Much healthier than 1986. Because those young people are not talking about politics of identity, of tribe, of religion, which is what we fought. So those are our products.
So do you feel proud of somebody like him?
Bobi Wine is confused because he's not ideological, and he's being manipulated by so many groups, so many, especially the foreigners.
Oh, which foreigners?
All sorts of, we monitor them.
Tell me, I didn't know there were foreigners manipulating Uganda's elections. Who?
Hello. I'm sorry for pausing here. Let me tell you. Museveni says that Bobi Wine lacks in ideology. Now, let's first address that. First of all, Museveni is not the first person to make this kind of claim or whatever. Bobi Wine lacks in ideology and in depth. But of what importance is an ideology that you cannot use to transform your country? Thank you, Museveni. Tell us your ideology and show us how it has transformed Uganda. If we still have the high levels of poverty, unemployment, corruption, lawlessness, and impunity, you personalizing institutions, of what importance is that ideology? What is the ideology of Museveni? But then, the second part is Museveni saying, Bobi Wine is being influenced or manipulated by foreigners. She's like, who are these foreigners? Please tell me, who are these foreigners? That's the question. Let's go back. Listen to the question here, ladies and gentlemen.
Manipulated by so many because so those are our products.
So do you feel proud of somebody like him?
Bobi Wine is confused because he's not ideological, and he's being manipulated by so many groups, so many, especially the foreigners.
Who are these foreigners? That's the question.
Oh, which foreigners?
All sorts of, we monitor them.
You monitor them. Who are they? He who alleges must prove. Please, who are these foreigners? Do not sing. Who are these people? Tell us, Mr. President. Who are these foreigners manipulating Bobi Wine?
Tell me, I didn't know there were foreigners manipulating Uganda's elections. Who?
Please, look at him.
But
Look at the confused face.
Bobi Wine in particular is an agent of foreign interests.
Who are they? Mention.
But the social group, the youth who feel marginalized, that's a healthy internal force which we are working with. For the youth group who are serious, who are not part of the foreign manipulation.
Who are these foreigners?
Who are these foreigners? Once again, please.
Tell me the country. I don't know who these foreigners are.
There are so many.
There are so many. Who are they?
There are so many. Because you see the foreigners.
There are so many because you see foreigners. Who are they? You said you monitor them.
Especially the Europeans.
Okay.
They are
He finally mentioned them. The Europeans. Okay. Who are they? Malta? Luxembourg? Cyprus? Netherlands? The UK? Sweden? Where? What do you mean when you say the Europeans? Where? You monitor them? You should know at least one country.
Of arrogance.
Now, oh my God. He's been caught lying. And do you know what he does? He switches to defensive now. You are full of arrogance. Because you're asking me to substantiate these claims that I'm making that are extremely outrageous. Why you ask me to tell you? But you said you monitor them is resulting to now abusing, insults. Imagine.
There are so many. Because you see the foreigners, especially the Europeans, they are full of arrogance. For Uganda is very successful.
Please, the question is, who are these foreigners? You told us they're just Europeans. Then tell us. Oh, Uganda is very successful. No, answer the question.
We have a very strong system because we know what we are doing. but because you have that your own analysis.
You've not told us the answer yet.
Like for instance, you think the problem of Uganda is because I've been in government for a long time, and after that is the advantage of Uganda.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, that's called master gaslighting. Museveni, shortly after winning power, and he even wrote in his own book, What is Africa's Problems? He said, the problem of Africa are leaders who overstay in power. This is not an idea from Europe. This is an original idea from the head, from the mind of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who told us the problem of Africa are leaders who overstay in power. Now he's changing to say, oh, actually, that's a very, very, very good thing. So he's blaming the Europeans for coming up with this idea he originally came up with. Oh, my Lord, I can't. Jeez.
Uganda is because I've been in government for a long time.
Yes. If you cannot build institutions that can outlive you, you have done nothing. Zero. Until you are able to lead a transition that's going to make sure that institutions continue to function in your absence, then you are a successful leader. At least for the most part. But if you still think that you're the only wise man who can lead Uganda, you have failed.
And after that is the advantage of Uganda.
Oh, the advantage of Uganda is because I've overstayed in power. He told us this wasn't a mere change of guards. It was a fundamental change. The problem of Africa are leaders who overstay in power. You have said, oh, now he's changing it. Oh, it's so good because...
So we don't agree. as long as it is democratically decided on.
And we've not had that. You've had situations where you've forced your political opponents like Chiza Besigye and Bobi Wine to be abducted, held at home, like jailed at home, or their supporters tear gassed, abducted, tortured, and killed. So it is everything is extremely contradicting what he's been doing. Like we've not had democratic elections in Uganda.
This is the correct thing.
Remember, he's not answered the question. That's probably a side note. Let's go back to the foreigners.
But because you have
Sorry about that.
that view of yours, when
Sounds like the bird is imitating him. And the bird goes like...
when
This is art. When
but because you have that view of yours, when charlatans, people are not serious.
now he's abusing charlatans. Oh my God.
Just come up. Oh, it is opposition to longevity in government. So
Then you are a charlatan. This was your point, Mr. President. You said the problem of Africa are leaders who overstay in power. Then you say, oh, when charlatans come up, then can we now come to a conclusion that Museveni was actually a charlatan in 1980, who was accusing African leaders who had overstayed in power, saying, okay, that's so wrong now. You're accusing us of being charlatans because we believe in the idea you had in the 1980s?
you jump up and down.
It's funny. Even in the making of our constitution, they put term limits and age limit because he believed in those ideas. Now, when we believe in those ideas, we become charlatans. Jeez.
In the West. And they get quite a lot of encouragement from the foreigners, from the homosexuals, from I don't know what.
What have the homosexuals got to do with it?
What are the homosexuals got to do with it? He's trying to find ways of how he can blame nebulous groups. He won't mention not even one homosexual, but he knows when he says the Europeans or homosexuals.
Oh, they are very happy. They are very
Who
happy.
are these people? Tell us.
Happy with Bobi Wine. They actually, I think they even send them support.
I think is a statement of doubt, a statement of uncertainty. You do not know. So he's here just alleging stuff, making speculations. He doesn't have any proof or evidence. Zero. Oh, I think they are. When you say you have been monitoring them, then you are in position to be like, according to the report that has been made by my so-and-so group in my government, we found out that Bobi Wine receives this amount of money from these foreign organizations. And my so-and-so was able to make research, and we found out that Bobi Wine is supported by elements in Malta, in Sweden, or mention all these countries. You don't just come as president of a country to allege without proof. Come on, what are we doing here?
Why does it come back to the homosexuals?
Exactly.
Many years ago, you may not remember this, you told me that there were always homosexuals in Uganda. And
now, he's going to go into the conversation of homosexuals, and I do not want to go into that. Let me tell you why he brings up, Europeans and homosexuals and stuff like that. There's a pool of people like Museveni, because every time they want to discuss their ideology, the Pan-Africanism ideology, they cannot discuss that without an element of hate. They usually point you to into a direction where they think that probably you should be hating on somebody. That's why he postures himself as a Pan-Africanist, but at the same time does everything that is contrary to the African culture. You've seen him several times mocking, reducing, making light of our traditions and our kings, abducting, torturing, and killing of innocent people is not African tradition. But because they know that the only way you can fool people is by giving them something to hate on, so they point you to the direction of Europeans or homosexuals. No. Homosexuals are not stopping you from developing your country and transforming it. The Europeans, you can act. And it is so really hypocritical that people like Museveni are going to enjoy all these aid they get from all these Europeans or, foreign interests. For example, our budget is 20% foreign funded. Funded by who? The American government, taking the largest portion, and the UK. We accept all that kind of aid. I think, was it around $1.7 billion that we got from the US to fund our health sector? We are okay with all that. But the moment Bobi Wine is probably having a good time, probably he's seated somewhere with a US senator. Oh, Bobi Wine is being funded by foreigners. When is it okay for me to have a conversation with an American, a European, or someone from Malta, or any country, Egypt, or Kenya? And hey, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Because it looks like when you are having a good conversation or having a good time with these people, it is okay. The moment I have a conversation with them, oh, no, it's not good. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a profile in holding Museveni accountable. He couldn't answer those two questions. He continues, he went on to give some sort of funny lectures.
Life.
Not actually funny, but boring.
While for us here, we think it is a deviation.
But
in the West, have their own way of thinking. And for us, we agree with you on some, but we don't agree with you on others.
Oh my God, listen to the philosopher. Welcome to life, even with your children. There are things you agree and things you do not agree on.
But I think what you would like us to be is that we should be your puppets.
That's always the talking point with these folks who usually want to posture, present themselves as some sort of African voices, African unity. Or you want us to be your puppets. You already are. You are already an African puppet. Remember, in 2000s, IMF, World Bank, and other multilateral organizations had to forgive Uganda. Guess where you ran to fund your budget? There's a very famous saying. How does it go? He who pays the piper calls the tune. Your funder is your boss. So I do not understand. Oh, we are in Russia. Russia has given us these excessive amount of weaponry. Oh, we are with America. Why don't you make this yourself? Oh, China is going to do this for us. The moment you have all these people doing this for you, don't be surprised when they say, hey, on condition, I do this for you because I want this.
Whatever you say is what we should do. We should not say, wait a minute, that one we don't agree with. So now, because of that, those constituencies, anything against us, they jump on it.
No.
And of course, they make mistakes by so doing because they don't know our situation.
let me ask you about accountability, because obviously there is this issue. You've got the election and you've got the opponents and so on, and there has been violence, and there was concern back in November because more than 50 Ugandans lost their lives. They were shot by the security forces. Tell me about that. Who's accountable for that?
The opposition.
The victims are responsible for the shooting.
Not the victim.
Okay. The victims are responsible because the opposition was the one that was contesting the arrest of Bobi Wine in Luka.
The opposition are the ones who wanted to organize an insurrection.
Again, where is he getting these ideas? We want to organize an insurrection from Luka.
Because they say they want to organize here what happened in Libya.
Where are you getting these talking points which are sad? This is wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, let me try to explain what happened. On November 18th, 2020, Bobi Wine was campaigning in Luka, where he was violently attacked by the military. They beat up a lot of people, including journalists. Bobi Wine was violently arrested and kept in Luka. The news of the arrest of Bobi Wine spread rapidly across Uganda, and people started protesting in demand for an immediate release of Bobi Wine. And of course, as you know, with protests or demonstrations, you're going to have people, especially if you're not organized, you're going to have people who are going to do some things that you may not want to see being done. And the protests escalated. Instead of releasing the man, they kept the man illegally in prison. And what happened? The military, in order to respond, because they were in a panic mode, afraid that Museveni was going to lose power, they started shooting live bullets into protesters. They killed many people who were even innocent. You can go on and watch the BBC documentary. They have one. People, bystanders, others were just walking. They were shot, dead, alive. So when he says that we were trying to organize something, there was nothing like organizing what we saw in Sudan or Egypt or whatever. And I would show you that all his allegations are totally and utter abysmal, because as we speak, in these 2025 elections, as we're headed for 2026 elections in the campaign, they've arrested everybody except Bobi Wine. And do you know why? Because they saw what happened. So why are they not claiming, oh, we are organizing what we saw in Tanzania or what we saw in Egypt? Because they know if you arrest an innocent man who has got mass support, some of his supporters are going to rise up demanding for his immediate release. And you may not be able to control these crowds that are rising up. So they should have done what they're doing right now. We've not been able to see mass protests in Uganda because you have not done what you did in the past election. It is not because we are trying to copy from a blueprint of Egypt or Tanzania or whatever. It is because you are not doing the unthinkable. Come on.
Supported by you people, by you, the Western governments.
Mention these governments. It's funny, all these governments are funding his government, but he says, oh, they're supporting my opponent.
What happened in, was it yes, Egypt? What happened in Sudan, Khartoum? Mm-hmm. What happened in...
well, these are revolutions that overthrew governments, at least temporarily. Uh-huh. But was that really what was happening, or was it a...
That's what they were planning. That's what they were planning, encouraged by actually Western governments, Western elements. I wouldn't say governments.
Now,
Western elements.
From government to elements. Mention these elements because you've been following up.
Yes, some more, this and that, some diplomats. Uh-huh.
It is funny he knows all these things, but we did not see the Ugandan government issuing statements saying, hey, diplomats so and so, we found out that you were organizing rebellion against the Ugandan government. No. Oh, he knows all these diplomats that were organizing an uprising in Uganda, but he won't bar them from entering Uganda. Make it make sense.
50 Ugandans, more than 50, lost their lives, and it was the security forces who pulled the trigger.
32 were attacking security people.
There was a 14-year-old boy who was killed. Who was walking along behind his mother.
Some died in the crossfire.
This man is a liar, oh my God. A complete charlatan. You know, when he used the term charlatan, he was actually projecting. He's a complete charlatan.
Died some 22, but 32 were definitely... Who started that violence?
You? Your man? Yeah? Like we see the violence that's going on in Uganda usually started. Even in situations where Bobi Wine is just addressing people. Your henchmen start beating up people, tear gassing them and pepper spraying them. It is you who started this violence.
Well,
Who started
Bobi Wine was arrested, and then people started rioting. Of that, there is no doubt.
Yes.
And then the
No,
security
but that
forces
one had
came
been
in.
planned long time.
No! Please, he who alleges must prove. Show us. You've had, now how many years? How come he doesn't, bring this proof?
It had been planned. You see, because here, you are asking
Look at the face of a liar.
me, why have you not died, men of you?
No.
You are asking.
No, I'm asking you who is accountable.
No.
That's what my question was. Who is accountable?
Before, you asked.
Who is accountable? He's running away. Museveni, you can run, but you can't hide. Who is accountable?
Me, why have you not died, so many of you, from corona? You remember?
I asked, why did you think
Yep.
that coronavirus was not ravaging the population of Uganda?
Because we took measures. We took measures. And some of the measures was, don't congregate. Now,
When your people congregated, you didn't care. It is when Bobi Wine's people congregated that you cared about coronavirus.
this agent of foreign interest, Bobi Wine, says, no, for me, I will congregate.
I can show you footage of Museveni having crowds, people congregating. He wasn't even doing anything.
You can't. I am also campaigning. I'm not congregating people. I've been campaigning for 2 months. I have never held a single rally.
That's a lie. Hey, this was a profile in lying, shamelessness to the core. Now, I'm going to ask you to go on and please watch this entire thing. It's called Uganda Election. President Museveni says opposition are agents of foreign interests. Up to now, he made these claims like 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Up to now, he's not brought proof or evidence to prove this. He just says it to play on the minds of the people. Well, I think I fed you what you wanted, brother. You asked for it, and I'm like, why not? I have some time. Okay, so you know the drill. Please make sure that you subscribe to this feed. I would truly, truly appreciate. Like this video and write down in the comment section what you think. My name is Mordecai Marisa. Go on and watch the entire thing. I just gave you how many minutes? Let me see. Only 9:46. The interview was 15 minutes, almost 16. So I only gave you like 10 minutes. So go watch the entire 5 minutes. I'll see you later.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.